is your American dream?
My American dream is to spread love all over the world.
My American dream is to live in a safe world.
My American dream is to come here to work because I love this country.
My American dream is to play one day in the NBA.
Out here in America, dreaming every day with my friends over there, and we're just trying to say, hey.
My American dream is good life.
My American dream is the life I'm living right now.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Happy Hump Day, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 7th. We are live. I am live with my very good friend, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
What's up?
Vanessa Descourt Contreras out on assignment.
Yes.
She has an assignment to get back to Miami come rain, sleet, or snow.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll be back with us tomorrow,
Going
right?
straight to Elsa.
Right, straight to Elsa. That's like going, that's that Disney movie.
Frozen.
There
you go.
How you doing? Everything good?
Everything's good.
Yes.
It's hot out
we
there.
were like frozen. We couldn't get going today. We were frozen. A little late today, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
But better, as they say, better late than never, right?
Absolutely.
Let's say hello to the squad, Yo-Yo. Sandy Goodman is watching. Squad up. Pepe Samuel, how are you? Denise Johnson Green, squad up. Maureen McFarlane, how are you? Carol Anderson the Tiger, happy Hump Day to everybody. Annette Campbell Miller, what's going on? How are you? Paulette Bryce Cameron, squad up. Tia Dion, Dawn Harriet, and who else we got here? Maureen McFarlane. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Not a lot.
Right now.
YouTube's always a little slower in the beginning.
Right.
Kanti Singh, just with a question. Not even a hello. Not even like hi, squad up. Can't even give us a perfunctory squad up.
You know, YouTube usually is down to business. They
are down to business.
What's up with this question?
All right, Kanti Singh, I got a DUI. I'm waiting for citizenship interview. Uh-oh. Is that a question or a statement?
Maybe it's just asking, like, does she have anything to worry about?
Yeah, you got something to worry about. The DUI could be bad moral character. You may be denied on your citizenship.
Yikes.
Westman, squad up. Susie Q Mac. Susie Q changing her name to Susie Q Mac.
I like that.
Yes, Babin Sunar. Either she just got a new Mac and she's proud of it. It's also possible she loves McDonald's. It's also possible that that's her last name.
It's also possible that she's like the Mac Daddy.
It's possible too.
I like that one better.
Susie Q Mac, she is the Mac Daddy.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, okay, possible also. I like all of those. Is it A, B, C, or D? She'll have to let us know.
Susie Mac, let us know.
Let us know. You know it's none of them. It's an E, right?
Right.
All right, what's going on, Yo-Yo? Let's start the show.
Absolutely. All right, squad. You already know what time it is. It is time to share on all social media platforms. We need you guys to share in order to let this show be out to the world so they know about this amazing, amazing show, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad. We're talking headlines with Brad, including the chaos in Haiti after the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse this morning. And of course, it is Wednesday, so you already know what time it is. It is Hump Day.
Uh-oh.
Yes. So we're going to be talking news about the outcome of a legal battle between Beatles legend Ringo Starr and a sex toy manufacturer.
That would be very interesting. I don't even know what's going on there. And of course, you can call us right now to get your immigration questions live on our show. 1-800-529-5465. If you're calling internationally from outside of North America, dial +1 212-227-8933. Interestingly, Yo-Yo, we make it really easy for people to call on our show and to call Spar and Bernstein.
Yes.
It's the same exact telephone number, 1-800-529-5465. And later in the show, after we schmooze, after I take our telephone calls, after we go through our social media, we will be celebrating our essential workers as we take you to today's New York City Hometown Heroes ticker tape parade.
Love it.
All right, let's start schmoozing.
All right.
So this morning we woke up to text messages and we also woke up to notifications. I got both.
Yes.
President Jovenel Moïse, I hope I pronounce his name right, Moïse. Jovenel Moïse of Haiti was assassinated in an early attack early this morning at his home on the outskirts of Port-au-Prince. Moïse's wife, Martine, was also shot in the attack. There is conflicting news of whether she is alive or she has passed as well. The interim Prime Minister, Claude Joseph, told the New York Times that he is now in charge. It is unclear how much control he actually has. A new Prime Minister was scheduled to replace Joseph this week, and the head of the nation's highest court, Judge Rene Silvestre, who may have helped establish some order. He died of COVID just a few weeks ago. Now, in a televised broadcast to the nation, Joseph presented himself as the head of the government, announced that he and his fellow ministers had declared a state of siege, called for calm. The news of Moïse's assassination rocked the Caribbean nation. It's been in turmoil for years and years, decades and decades. In recent months, protesters demanded Moïse's removal. I apologize. He has clung to power, ruling by decree for more than a year. Now armed gangs control many of the streets. They've taken to kidnapping school children, church pastors in the middle of services. Poverty and hunger are on the rise. Basic government services are sometimes non-existent. The political value left by Moïse's killing could fuel another cycle of violence.
Yeah.
Now, this has been going on since Haiti got independence from France in the early 1800s. They threw out France, brought an end to one of the world's most brutal slave colonies, eventually defeating Napoleon's forces in 1803. But the suffering of the Haitians have been for centuries and decades and decades. More recently, Francois Duvalier, known as Papa Doc, and then his son Jean-Claude, known as Baby Doc, ran the country. In 1990, a priest from a poor area, Jean-Bertrand Aristide, became the first democratically elected president, but he was overthrown in a coup in less than a year. And it's just been one disaster after another, hurricanes, and eventually, thank God, at least for the people, the Haitians who are in the United States, that President Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas designated Haiti for another 18 months of TPS. I don't know how anyone could go back there at this moment, how they could have even went back 2 months ago, but certainly not now.
Yeah.
As Mayorkas said at the time, this was before the assassination of the Prime Minister, Haiti is currently experiencing serious security concerns, social unrest, an increase in human rights abuses, crippling poverty, and the lack of basic resources. And this was before the assassination of the current Prime Minister.
Prime Minister or
President, excuse me.
Yes,
excuse me. So we don't know. We don't even know who did it.
We don't know who did it. We don't know.
There's a lot of suspects.
Why it happened. I just,
we know why it happened. Somebody wanted to wrest power from him.
Right.
Okay, it's just now. Is it the current new president who claimed? Is it him? Was it his people? Was it others? Nobody knows yet.
Nobody knows, but I was talking to my best friend because he's Haitian, and I wanted to know more about it because I don't know about the president, the stance, because I know about foreign countries and government and how it can be good or bad with how they are with the people. And he was like, there's a lot of talk going on. They don't know if it's gangsters. They don't know if it was an inside job. They're just trying to find out. But at the end of the day, we just, we're praying for that country because it's gonna hurt. You know, now you got people out there thinking that they can run stuff.
Well, it's sad because, you know, Haiti does get billions and billions of dollars in financial aid internationally, but apparently it's not getting to the people.
That's the problem.
It's not getting to the people. And I don't know what the answer is. They don't have the basic infrastructure to even get foreign aid to people. So when governments say they're going to give money to Haiti and it doesn't get to people and people are lining their pockets, it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is. I hope it doesn't come to a point where foreign powers like the United States or France, the United States and France have the most interest in Haiti, France being the colonial power that ruled it, and United States being the power that is closest to Haiti. I hope neither one of those takes matters into their own hands and decides to go into at least be a good person or a good guy and try to put order, because that usually turns into bigger disasters.
Right, I agree.
So we'll see what happens. We'll be checking on that.
Yes.
And our hearts go out to everybody in Haiti who has to be suffering.
Right.
Meanwhile, Eric Adams
wins.
He was my guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I voted for him.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm proud to say it.
Awesome.
Yeah, Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams won the Democratic primary. For mayor of New York City, Adams appealed to the political center, and he promised to strike the right balance between fighting crime and ending racial injustice in policing. He himself is a former police captain. He triumphed over a large Democratic field in New York's first mayor race to use ranked choice voting. Nobody understood what this ranked choice voting was. I personally think they make ranked choice voting to say we're going to make it more democratic. To me, what ranked choice voting, what it ended up being was the Democratic machine choosing who their candidate was ultimately going to be. That's my opinion. You know, people will argue with me. But to me, there would be no reason to do it other than another reason for the machine to pick their candidate. I mean, I'm happy my candidate won,
right.
But still.
But that's what you think's going on.
That's what I think is going on. Now, Adams' closest Democratic rivals included Catherine Garcia. She was the former sanitation department. She would have been the first woman mayor of New York City had she won. She lost by less than 1% of a point by 8,426 votes. He is now going up against Curtis Sliwa, the founder of the Guardian Angels, to be mayor, because Curtis Sliwa is going to be representing the Republican ticket. Democrats outweigh Republicans 7-1 in New York City. I don't think it's going to be much of a race. I don't think it's going to be much of a race. Interestingly, Andrew Yang, who ran a very promising presidential race, he did not show very well for the New York City mayoral race. He was the one candidate known for the universal basic income, that everybody should get some money. Everybody needs an income, whether you work or you don't work. But apparently that was not the overriding concern for local politics.
Right.
The overriding concern for local politics was police and security and racial profiling and some combination of how we put police reform, racial profiling, and security, how we kind of mix it all in a bowl so that we get all three. And I don't know if there's a magic formula for mixing that all in a bowl, but I personally, because that was my issue, all three, I said we got to mix all three and figure it out.
Right.
And I looked at all the candidates, and of all of them, I thought Eric Adams would be the most qualified to figure it out, given you know, his background and the fact that he's a former police officer.
Right.
So I hope I voted well. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You never know. I hope I voted well.
Things, yeah.
What did you think?
I actually, Eric Adams, I liked a lot of what he had to say. I did see how he was opposed to defunding the police.
Correct.
And that's kind of what we had said
I'm
as
opposed
well.
to defunding police.
And that's
Right.
why we didn't like the word defund.
I don't like to defund police, right.
So, and the fact that I feel like he understands, of course he's still going to want the better for Black Lives Matter because he, endured police brutality when he was young as well.
That's right.
He was beat by officers. So I just, I saw it for him.
I voted for him because I thought he spoke well. He seems like a really intelligent guy. And I said he's the one guy who experienced it from both sides.
Exactly.
He was a police officer, but he also lived as a black man before the police and saw what it was like, the racial profiling and living as a black man in New York City.
I connected with that.
So I thought of everybody, he understood the problem the most.
Exactly.
And that to me, and that in most voters' minds, was the overriding factor of who to vote for.
Exactly.
And that's why he won. All right, we'll see what happens. I hope for the best.
Same here.
All right, coronavirus, 33 million confirmed coronavirus cases, more than 606,000 deaths. Worldwide, there's been more than 184 million cases. I think we have to get to 3 billion to 4 billion cases before we're about 2.9 billion cases away from getting rid of the pandemic, unfortunately. Surging COVID cases in Tokyo have hit a 2-month high, almost guarantees that the Japanese government is going to declare a new state of emergency next week, and it's going to continue that state of emergency through the entire Tokyo Olympics. The pandemic has delayed the Olympics opening in just over 2 weeks on July 23rd. It's delayed the opening, excuse me. Olympics is now going to start on July 23rd and end on August 8th. It was supposed to be last year, actually.
Right.
So it's actually delayed it by more than a year. A new state of emergency could even lead to a ban on local fans going to the events.
Yikes.
Separately, a government COVID-19 advisory panel met Wednesday and expressed concerns about the ongoing resurgence of the infections. Tokyo reported 920 new cases on Wednesday. It is the highest total since 1,010 were reported on May 13th. The Olympics is pushing ahead despite all of this bad news, partially because the postponement of 15 months stalled the Olympic income. It gets almost 75% of its income from broadcast rights, and estimates it would have lost $3 to $4 billion if they continued to cancel the Olympics. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said today that the Delta variant has become the most prominent variant circulating in the United States, representing 51% of all new cases.
Wow.
It was first identified in India. It is blamed for a surge of cases in countries around the globe. Parts of Europe have reinstated travel quarantines. The Delta appears to be far more infectious than other strains. I wonder if Delta Airlines is going to have the same problem that Corona beer had. When Corona first came out, I was like, I don't want to buy no Corona beer.
Everybody was like, Corona beer.
Why would I buy Corona beer? I don't want to drink Corona. And now people are like, I don't want to go on no airline with the Delta variant.
Yeah.
You think that's going to happen or no?
I don't think it will. No.
I think people are over that already, right?
Yeah.
I think so too. I was making a joke, actually. All right, let's get into Hump Day.
It's Hump Day.
The Camels are ready.
It's Hump Day.
Yo-Yo took a look at
Hump Day.
these news stories ahead of time. He said to me, well, we don't have Nesquik here. I got to see what the heck we're talking about. I got no woman to buffer between me and Brad here.
Right. I just texted her too. I was like, really? On Hump Day?
I don't know what we're gonna see. I always like it. This is the honest truth. I always like to be surprised by Hump Day news, so I have no idea. That's true. I don't know. Right. Is that true or not true? I have no idea what's in the Hump Day news other than something about Ringo Starr, because I always like to be surprised and laugh. Right? So Ringo Starr, let's see what's going on. The Beatles drummer Ringo Starr is pulled out of a legal battle with the makers of a popular sex toy called the Ringo. The musical legend, 80 years old, argued that his reputation is at stake if the Ringo sex toy name was registered as a trademark.
Okay, before you keep on reading, can we look at the Ringo?
What is the Ringo?
Can we look at that real quick?
What is it? Is this a male or a female?
So that's what I wanted to ask you. If you had to guess.
It looks like a male.
So what does that do?
The Ringo looks like you would put it. You wouldn't put it on your finger. That's for sure. But it would act as a ring. But it was not going on your finger.
Right.
It would go somewhere else. Right.
And that little thing.
And that little thing was going to start vibrating. And you got the drummer of the Beatles vibrating on your ting-ting. He's a little upset about this, I guess,
he's
right?
Violated.
I feel violated talking about it. So the company, Pacific Coast Holdings, pledged to avoid any reference or innuendo to Ringo the Beatle. They're just calling it Ringo. The battle erupted in 2019 when Ringo's lawyers said moves by the firm to trademark the name would make consumers think his newest venture is sex toys. In related news, the Hasbro company is starting a lawsuit against Jonathan Elias for trademark of the yo-yo name. They're saying they don't want any Jonathan Elias taking over the yo-yo. That's not true.
It's not.
No, that is not true.
Ringo should have just got in the business because that's the best way to make money.
Yeah, I mean, if he put his face on the vibrator.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to tell you something. I think a lot of people would love to be vibrated by Ringo Starr.
Ringo Starr.
Right?
Please. Yeah.
Come on, man. You haven't sold enough records?
Gotta think smart.
Yeah, right. He hasn't sold enough. He hasn't sold anything in years. Right?
And doesn't Michael Jackson own the Beatles catalog or something like that? I think something like that. Ringo, you should have did something smart and just put your name on it, put your face on the thing, and just been like, hey, let's rock.
Now, the company, their defense is, all right?
It's a ring and it's a O.
Okay, their defense is that Ringo is a trademark squatter, and he said Ringo's 80 years old, and their customers are a lot younger and way too young to make any connection to this aging Beatle.
I think
they really insulted him.
Yeah, I think Hugh Hefner would have said something different.
I think they really insulted him. Meanwhile, villagers in a small British town complained about screaming and moaning noises coming from the Swingers Festival over the weekend. That's surprising that you would have screaming and moaning noises coming from the Swingers Festival.
Wow.
I think they should have been aware of that before they gave the permit to have the Swingers Festival in their little town. What do you think was going to happen, right?
Right.
Neighbors who live near the fields where the 4-day swing-a-thon event took place said their peace was shattered by the wails and groans of people having sex 24 hours a day. Organizers of the X-rated event advertised wet t-shirt competitions, a mobile dungeon and fetish demonstration, plus a Mr. and Mrs. Swing-a-thon contest. Our on-the-spot reporter, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, will be reporting there later in the week, and we will be featuring that. No, we will not.
We will not.
Around 400 tickets were sold for reported £200 per couple. Is it £200? You have to be a couple to show up. You just can't show up as a single.
Well, that's what a swinger is.
Yes, the festival. Yeah, you just can't show up for sex. You got to come up with your significant other.
I wonder if remember that guy that was dating his little sex doll?
Yes.
I wonder if he could come there with his.
I don't know.
They're a couple. They're married. Actually.
I don't know. Now, unconfirmed reports have suggested that limited coronavirus guidelines were in place at the festival. I can't imagine anyone's really concerned. I would say if you're going to the Swingers Festival, the least of your concerns is coronavirus. Would that be your number one concern?
At a swingers?
At a swingers? Would coronavirus would be your number one concern? Or perhaps getting some other disease would be.
Well, that too, of course. But I think you would get coronavirus before you get anything else because they could be protecting themselves. I don't think they're like just raw dogging. So, but you could get coronavirus by them kissing you or something like that.
Now, drone images have showed hundreds of swingers arriving at the sex festival. people. There must have been like 1,000 drones flying over this festival, right? Can you imagine like drones are like banging into each other, right?
Exactly.
So
most of them are probably handled by 12-year-old young boys.
Exactly. If I was a 12-year-old out and I had a drone, I'd be flying over that festival. One guest said the event hidden among the fields off of Highway A52 was heavily patrolled by security guards. He said there's a lack of loos, I guess, which is the bathrooms and washing facilities. So that's not very promising for a swingers festival. Yeah. Dirty, smelly people for 4 days.
And probably hot.
There's no social distancing. It's hot. It's sweaty. But he claims it's COVID safe because everyone got tested ahead of time.
Oh.
I wonder if they got tested for herpes, gonorrhea, HIV.
I doubt it.
Syphilis.
I doubt
Those
it.
little buggies, whatever they're called.
What are buggies? Like
little
crabs?
Crabs, yeah. I couldn't remember what they're called. Crabs. Those are all the ones I know. I don't know of any other ones, but I'm sure there's others.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, an elderly male sex doll has been created by sex robot company Real Doll. There's not enough sex dolls in the world. They now got an old man sex doll. I don't know. There's a sex doll for everybody.
There's fetishes out there.
All right, people want old man sex. That's old man sex. The gray-haired robot has been made at the request of a customer. The customer wanted old man sex. It's a working male sex robot. The old man's called Henry. The company has been working on. But Henry, I'm going to tell you something. This is not a real.
That's not Henry.
Yeah, Henry is the old man.
No, Henry is the young one.
Yeah, but they're giving
all of them the
they're
name
giving
Henry?
all the name Henry. They all get Henry, and apparently this is where you kind of lose the old man feeling. Apparently, Henry the old man sex doll is getting a bionic penis, according to the Real Sex Doll Company. Where's Vanessa when we needed her for this? Why?
I don't.
I gotta move on.
Yeah.
I gotta move on that one. I'm sorry, Jill. I can't continue that one.
That's just bad.
That's just bad.
Like what?
Can you call Vanessa, please, and get her on the phone?
Right.
All right. Can you please call her, please? All right. A new study by Ashley Madison, the dating site that caters to cheaters, has revealed the top 20 cities for loosening up your marital vows.
All right. Before looking, don't look. What are the top 3 cities?
Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Miami.
Ooh. Okay.
The 3 biggest cheating cities.
Those are good. I know for sure.
I didn't look.
I didn't either. For sure, I feel like Miami. I would almost say New York, just because it's so busy.
I think people, not in New York, not in my hometown, New York.
And LA.
People don't cheat in my hometown, New York.
Oh, please.
Come on, we're all.
I say Miami. Okay, well, we got Miami.
Well, they put the list up.
Oh, you got Vegas.
I knew it had to be Vegas. Where's the list on my list here?
I see it right up here.
Oh, okay.
Miami, Orlando, Vegas, Atlanta, Cincinnati.
Yeah, Miami, Orlando, and Las Vegas landed on the top.
LA is
Boise, Idaho, and Tucson, Arizona, Atlanta, and Oklahoma City.
Atlanta, I could definitely see that.
I would have thought Los Angeles.
Well, no, we're great. We love each other. We love, and we stay together. We don't cheat in LA.
Huh. Let's see what other statistics they have in here. The lack of sex with their partner was found to have a direct correlation with lowered affection levels. 65% of women said they are no longer attracted to their spouses, but 74%, even though they're not attracted, say they love them.
Wow.
So that's why there's a lot of cheating. They love them, so they can't leave them, but they ain't attracted to them.
Oh,
maybe they got the dad belly at this point.
See, that's why you got to stay,
right?
Keep it up, y'all.
Maybe they
don't
look
get
like
comfortable.
Maybe they look like Henry the old man sex doll.
Well, he's for somebody.
He's for somebody. This was all. They interviewed a lot of females here. 45% of women said that extramarital sex is better, because it allows them to experiment. 42% said it lets them have more frequent sex. And those older in age reported participating in extramarital affairs more than younger couples.
Wow.
This correlates with Florida taking up 15% of the top 20 cities for infidelity.
Wow.
Yes. Yo-Yo. We got to save these last two for Vanessa next week.
Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm okay with that.
Are you okay with that?
Totally
They're all
fine.
both of these stories about the male anatomy. It's amazing that's what they do to us when Vanessa doesn't show
Right,
up.
I think this is on
It's
purpose.
like it's like done on purpose. Ay, ay, ay. All right, I need a drink. All right, so what do we got here? That's the end of our hump day. It's 7 o'clock. We got to get to our immigration questions anyway. In today's Braducation, I explain how long you can stay in the United States with an ESTA visa and what happens if you marry a green card holder or a United States citizen while visiting on an ESTA. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward, to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Immigration Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. U.S. immigration law is complex and the regulations are constantly changing. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. Now, there are 39 countries enrolled in the United States Visa Waiver Program that allows citizens of those countries to travel to the United States for tourism and stay for 90 days without a visa with an ESTA, which is the digital travel authorization to the USA you obtain online. How long could I stay in the United States with an ESTA? Well, the ESTA is not a Live in America visa. It is not a Work in America visa. You have to leave the United States after 90 days. There are no extensions or change of status to the ESTA program. But what if I'm coming to get married? Well, if you're coming to get married as a foreign couple and you want to have this really special wedding in America, then that's okay. But if you are coming to marry a permanent resident or a United States citizen, that is not okay. That would be a misrepresentation, because entering the United States on an ESTA, whether you say something or not at the airport, it is implied you are a tourist. It is not a fiance visa or a marriage visa. So if you were to marry a United States citizen or permanent resident while on the ESTA, the government would call you a liar. You said you were visiting, and then you are marrying a United States citizen or resident, which is not allowed on the ESTA. It is a blatant misrepresentation. So what if I make a misrepresentation? Big deal. Big deal? You can be barred from entering the United States for the rest of your life. Whether you marry a green card holder or you marry a United States citizen to get your permanent residence, or you even want to come back on a non-immigrant tourist visa or student visa, you will be barred, and there are very few exceptions in which you can get a waiver. All right, you got an immigration question. I hopefully got some answers for you. Abdul, how are you? You're on.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, so this is one of my friend question. His asylum case is pending.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the United States. He's waiting for his interview.
Uh-huh.
But he's fallen in love with, one of his girlfriends, which is citizen.
One of them? How many girlfriends does he have?
One.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be another hump day question.
Yeah.
Okay.
They both try to get married and apply for merit-based application. So I just like to know, is going to be affect his asylum case or what?
Well, he's marrying an American citizen, I assume, correct?
That's right.
And how did he come to the United States?
Visit visa.
All right. So get married. I hope they are. Live together. Be in a bona fide marriage. You live together, have a financial relationship. File a bona fide marriage, I-130. Let the judge know that you are filing, you got married, you're filing an I-130, recalendar for a new master calendar. You don't want to move forward on an asylum claim. You want to move forward on what will ultimately be an I-130 approval and then an adjustment. That would be the process.
The last question, which is, he have a ex-wife. Is gonna be problem now in his country? Yeah, in his country, not here.
As long as he's fully divorced from her, no, it's not a problem.
Yes, he's a fully divorced.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's go to Mr. Wildley. Is it Mr. Whitley in Syracuse? My apologies, Mr. Whitley.
That's
Mrs.
okay.
Whitley.
Hi, Brian.
How are you? I apologize. I called you a Mr. and you are apparently a Mrs. How are you?
Good. I have good news.
What's
My
the good
case
news?
just got approved today.
Congratulations. Congratulations. What was done for you?
Thank you. It was the I-130 petition form. The case has been approved today. I did do an expedite, and June 22nd.
Great.
They replied to me in June 24th. They
Fabulous.
approved it, and I just got the approval for the petition.
Congratulations.
Now, thank you. What I'm worried about is my husband. He is in Haiti. Now, there's bad news going on with their president.
Of course. Well, we still gotta push it along. Okay. So you have to expedite in each stage. So now that your case is moving to the National Visa Center, you have to do another expedite at the National Visa Center. Get the case through the National Visa Center. Get it to the point where he's documentarily qualified, that he's ready for an interview in Haiti. And then let's get to that stage and try to see how he's going to get in there. We'll see we don't know what the country conditions are going to be in Haiti on a week-by-week basis. But what you can do right now is expedite it through the National Visa Center.
Now, can they, because what's going on in his country, can he go to the Dominican Republic, to that embassy, because everything might be closed down? Can he go to somewhere else to an embassy to get the interview?
You would have to request a third country to interview him. So that would be on a country-by-country and a case-by-case basis. So after everything is done, you would then have to make a humanitarian request to the Dominican Republic, to Mexico, to Venezuela. I mean, there's no embassy in Venezuela. In Colombia or somewhere that he can go to that he can get a visa appointment. Maybe they'll take him, maybe they wouldn't. It would be on a case-by-case basis.
Understand. Now, did they kill the president in Haiti?
Somebody killed him, yes.
Oh, my God. I thought it was the counselor.
What counselor?
I thought it was the journalist. I'm getting news all over, and we wasn't sure if it was...
No, the president of Haiti got killed by assassins who claimed they were DEA agents for the United States Drug Enforcement Agency, which apparently they were not. And some were speaking Spanish, some were speaking English. Nobody knows who they were and what happened yet.
Wow. Yeah, so how is his wife? Did they take his wife too?
Well, we don't know. There's conflicting reports on whether the wife is alive or dead at the moment.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So now he's telling me his country is going to be shut down because of that.
It's very possible. It is very possible. I don't know what's going to happen. If you're asking me what's going to happen on a day-by-day basis in Haiti, nobody knows.
Yeah, so it can change.
Right. So all you can do right now is, it's a 3-step process to get the appointment. It's get the I-130 approved, National Visa Center, get the case transferred to the embassy, and get him an appointment. Step 1, 2, and 3. You just expedited step 1. Expedite step 2, get the case to Haiti, and then let's figure out what's going on there at that point.
But I don't think their embassy is even open now because of that, huh?
Probably not. I don't know what's happening there right now at this moment, but I would guess that they're not going to be calling anybody in for an interview tomorrow. That would be my guess.
Well, we're not to tomorrow, but I'm just happy we got the petition approved to get it to the National Visa Center.
All right.
So,
all right.
Okay, thanks, Brad.
But make sure that you expedite for the next stage too.
Yep, to keep expediting.
Yes.
Yes, and they approved it within 2 days.
Fabulous.
I was like,
Excellent.
God,
Excellent.
God is so good.
Excellent. Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Me and my husband send my love, our love.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Let's go to Monique in Queens.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Brad.
How
I'm
you doing?
fine. Good. I'm calling because I have an I-130 that is approved, and prior to that, I have my asylum pending with a judge in court. So I would like to know what is the next step now, because by the time
I-130 is by your spouse?
Yeah, my spouse applied for it,
and he's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
And where are you from?
I'm from Benin.
And how did you come to the United States?
I came with S1 visa.
Okay, so the next step is you have to make a motion. It's the same exact thing, I think, 2 calls, the first call. You have to make a motion to the judge. Tell the judge you have an approved I-130. You've been approved in a bona fide marriage with your U.S. citizen spouse. You would like to not move forward on the asylum claim. You would like to file an adjustment of status with the judge and then schedule it for an individual hearing for the judge to give you a green card based on your bona fide marriage that's already been approved as a bona fide marriage by USCIS.
Yeah, my question is, I have one more question. I already filed the I-485 in court. I already filed that in 2019, and I filed the I-130 in 2018, but they called me recently for the I-130.
Right. So do you have a new court date coming up?
My court date is all the way in 2023. How can I move it
So you make
forward?
a motion to recalendar and say, I have the I-130 approved. Can we move it up?
Okay.
All right. It's called a motion
All
to
right.
recalendar. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck. Let's go to Sandra in Waterbury, Connecticut. Sandra.
Hi, Brad. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm calling on behalf of my brother. His wife is in Jamaica. She has one of them 10-year visa, and he would like to know if she comes up at some time, because she keeps coming and going, if they could get married, and would she have to go back if they get married?
He's a U.S. citizen?
No, he has a permanent as well.
Okay. So this is the story. Okay, and you got to listen very carefully, because I could just tell you what the law is, and then everyone has to make their own decisions on what to do in life. If you come up on a visitor's visa for the purposes of getting married and getting a green card, that is a misrepresentation and a reason to deny your green card, and you cannot adjust your status.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you come up to visit and you have an intention in your mind to visit the United States of America, and 90 days later you're ready to leave the United States of America, and your boyfriend says to you, hey, let's get married. I don't want you to leave. I love you. And you then change your mind. I'm giving you a hypothetical. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then you change your mind. After 90 days, the law says it's okay to change your mind and get married. If you get married after 90 days, and file your adjustment application before you fall out of status, so you would have a small window to do it, you would be able to do it here.
Okay.
But you can't come up with the intention of
doing
it. You have to come up to visit. Okay? Because if you have a preconceived intent, you're lying and have a misrepresentation problem.
Okay. There's another question, Brad. When his mother filed for him, right? He had 2 sons on the paper, but one of them, when the filing started, I think he was about 17. So when the filing came through, he had gone to 24. So they kick him off. So is there anything that we could do?
You would have to refile. You would have to refile for him. He was a derivative on a case, or he had a separate I-130 file for him?
No, he was on the same thing with his dad.
The dad would have to refile for him again, so he's no longer on that case.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to Joy in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I submitted an I-130 form for my husband, but when I submitted this form, I was unemployed. I was receiving unemployment. But right now I started working this week.
Okay,
So my question is this. For example, if they approve this I-130 petition next month or next 2 months, can I sponsor him, or do I still need a co-sponsor because I have not been working throughout last year?
Where's your husband?
In Africa.
Okay. You may or may not, depending on how long you are unemployed and what your current salary is. So they look at the totality of circumstances. If you have a nice paying job and you can show by an employment letter that your job is secure, I think you should be okay. I don't think you would need a second affidavit of support.
Okay, how do I know if I will need it or not? Because I don't want to make a mistake.
It's the totality of circumstances. So you do it yourself, and if the National Visa Center, the embassy, has a problem, they'll say, give us a second affidavit of support.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, then my second question is, do I have to call the USCIS to tell them that I started work? Because when I submit... Okay.
No. Just let the petition approve. You'll deal with the work thing at the National Visa Center.
So International Visa Center is the one that I would tell that I've started working
Correct,
and then...
correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck.
Okay.
Okay. Keisha in Hartford, Connecticut. Keisha.
Hello.
Hi, Keisha.
Hi, how are you, Brad? I just received my green card through VAWA.
Congratulations.
And I have two children that are I can't call the word, but
derivative.
Right, and with the October 5th, 2018 as their priority date.
Where are your children?
They are in Jamaica.
Okay. Did you do what you need to do now? How old are they?
Okay, so my son is 19. He's gonna be 20 next month. But my daughter turned 21 last November.
Okay.
She's already 21.
All right. So for your daughter, who turned 21 years old, she would end up in the F1 category with a 2018 priority date. Your son would still be an immediate relative. What you need to do is file what's called an I-824 form.
I-824?
Correct. And you're going to file it with the office that approved your case, and you're going to check off a box that you want to transfer or advise another office of the approval of your I-360 and I-45, and you're going to check off the National Visa Center, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. What will happen is that will get the wheels moving of the local USCIS office transferring your approved I-45 and approved VAWA to the National Visa Center, who will then start the paperwork for your children as derivatives in Jamaica.
Okay.
Your lawyer, if you had a lawyer, should be helping you. If you need help, you can always call me.
Okay, so just another question. So my daughter, she wouldn't fall under the protected status?
She falls, once the child turns 21, they go into the F1 category. But they keep the priority date in which you filed, which is 2018.
Oh, okay, I understand. Okay. All right. Sure, no problem. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let's go to Zabel in Orange City, Florida.
Hey, Brad, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hey, good, thank you very much. I'm calling on behalf of one of my friends. He came on student visa M1 to United States, and he got married with his girlfriend. His girlfriend, yeah. And then, unfortunately, they got divorced because the marriage was not going good. He was getting abused. And after divorce, he got picked up with ICE. And after that, he filed VAWA by himself. And he got a prima facie after a few months. And then he received, after 10 months, I guess, he received a work permit, C-31. He never filed anything with VAWA. So he is just curious what's going on with his case. And after that, he did file, after he received C-31 EAD, he filed I-485, if I'm not wrong.
Did he ever get put in deportation?
No, he never. He was in removal proceedings. Never ordered to remove.
All right, so he has an approved I-360, which is why he got the C-31 work permit. So we know the VAWA case was approved. He has to go back before the judge. He filed the I-485 with the local office. He needs to file it with the judge. So he needs to transfer the I-485 to the judge and adjust his status before the immigration judge.
Yeah, but he was telling me he never received any approval letter with that work authorization, I guess.
Well, but you wouldn't have gotten a work authorization under C-31 unless the I-360 was approved.
Oh, okay. So he needs to file the I-485 with the judge, not with USCIS.
Right. He needs to transfer, and we need to confirm that the I-360 is approved, but you don't get an C-31 work permit unless there's an I-360 approval. So we just got to confirm that and then make a motion with the judge. Hey, judge, the I-360 is approved. He filed the I-485 with the local office. Please transfer it over to the judge. Let it go to a master calendar before the judge, and then set it down for an individual.
Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Okay, good luck. Fareed in Dallas, Texas.
Hello?
How are you?
Yes, I'm doing great. And yourself, how are you?
Good, good. What can I do to help?
I called in I believe 2 weeks ago when my N-400 was denied. Not sure if you remember, but my case was denied because...
I don't remember, but just tell me why.
Yeah. Because my case was denied because I failed to mention that I was arrested because my case was dismissed at the time, so I was under the impression that it was I don't have to include it in the N-400. So after that, they asked me for a request for evidence. So I requested me to provide the I think the final disposition from the court, and they mentioned that they needed for it to be certified or original. I did provide them one, but it was not certified because I got that from the court.
Do you have a
website.
question for me?
Yeah.
What is the
I'm getting there. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, after that, I submitted the document, and then they denied my case. They denied my N-400. So I did appeal it again. I provided the.
What is your question for me?
This is my question. So I provided the final disposition, certified. What are my chances for it to be approved or denied?
0.
Why?
Because you didn't submit the right documentation as they requested it. So you're appealing, saying I did everything right, and you made an error, but you didn't. So it's 0.
So
So that's number one. Number two, an arrest during a 5-year period, depending on what it was for, it could be bad moral character. Number 3, the fact that you didn't disclose it is 100% bad moral character. So before you appeal any further, because it sounds like 0, that's why I'm saying, what's your question? Because I already know what the answer is going to be. I think you need a lawyer to start reviewing what you're doing.
Even though I provided the certified statement.
That's fabulous that you provided something after misrepresenting that you were arrested and after not complying with their requirement to give you a certified copy of an arrest record, and you did not give a certified copy. Appeal, let me explain what an appeal is so you understand. An appeal is, I have a decision in my hand. You made an error. I'm right, you're wrong. What an appeal is not is, I made an error once, I made an error twice, I'm now appealing and correcting my error. That's not an appeal. That's a correcting an error. You can't correct errors on appeal. The appeal is, what's in the record? Did you do it right or wrong? So I already know you did it wrong. I know your appeal is 0% chance of winning.
Gotcha.
You need help, man. Hold on. Let's go to Muhammad in Houston.
Hello, sir. Hey, Mr. Brad. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I actually have a question. I'm a VAWA filer, and I filed in 2019, and my case is still pending. I did receive 2 prima facies. The last one expired in December. I haven't received the other one. And I also filed the I-485 and the C-09 AD in December. I did receive it later in the year, and it's attended for the renewal. So my question was can I travel without having any problem with it? Because my wife and I did file I-360.
Your wife and you filed an I-360? What do you mean, if you filed a VAWA, what do you mean your wife filed it?
Oh, no, sorry. I said in the past, when we got married, we did file it. We did receive the interview, but then they canceled the interview and wanted to take...
Do you have a pending adjustment application right now?
Yes, I have a VAWA and pending application, but that's based on VAWA as well.
Okay. You have an advance parole?
Yes, but I just had it tendered for renewal. Once it comes in, I was just
once it comes in, you can travel. Yes.
But the thing is, I came here on B1, B2. Would that incur any bars from readmission?
No, just don't stay out for more than a month.
Okay, that works.
Right,
Thank you, Mr. Brad. Appreciate it.
Okay.
You have a good one.
Let's go to Floyd in Brooklyn.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
I came here on a B1, B2 visa last year and overstayed. The question is, can an employer petition for me to get a green card if I've overstayed?
If you've overstayed on a visa and you want to get sponsored by an employer, you got to look to the end and say, okay, at the end of the case, let's assume I do a labor application, I prove I'm not taking a job away from an American, the employer can afford to pay my offered salary, I have the experience for this job, I'm an approvable person. Now you're eligible for your green card, and the question that a lawyer should be asking, because you got to look at the end, not at the beginning, and then work backwards. At the end of this case, where does Floyd get his green card? Is Floyd eligible to get his green card in America? Are you from Jamaica, Floyd?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Can Floyd go back to Jamaica to pick up his green card and come back in a reasonable amount of time? Now, if you've overstayed your time and you're doing a job sponsorship, the only way that you can adjust your status here in the United States is if you're 245I, meaning that you had something filed before April 30th, 2001, and you were physically here on December 21st, 2000, or somebody filed for you before 98, or maybe somebody filed for your parents and you were derivative on that case before those dates. Does any of that? None of that. The other section of law that allows you to adjust your status here is Section 245K in an employment, but that is only if you've overstayed less than 180 days. You've overstayed by more than that at that point, so that doesn't apply to you either. Now, adjustment of status is out of question. Can you go home to pick up your green card? And now my question to you is, are you eligible for a provisional waiver? That would be the only way you can go home. Being eligible for a provisional waiver means you're married to a resident or a citizen who you can do a waiver through, or your parents are residents or citizens. Do you have any of that?
No, none of that.
So then we're back to square one. That would be a waste of time to do a job sponsorship because you wouldn't be able to get your green card under the law.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
But
Thank you very much.
I knew the answer probably in the beginning, but I wanted to give you the full analysis so you understood why I don't just say no, don't do it. Okay?
Right. I got it. I got it.
All right. Good luck, Floyd.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to Yanaldri in Brooklyn. I pronounced your name right. Yanaldri.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Good.
Oh, I'm calling you. I have a question because I have an issue with my son. Like 2 months ago, he called the police. My son called the police, and I was arrested. And I stayed one day in jail. And now I got a lawyer. My lawyer told me they charged me with three charges, assault. And I got a lawyer. He told me that I'm gonna get an ACD.
Okay.
I'm gonna get an ACD. I want to know if at the end of the case with an ACD, I won't have any need to apply for the citizenship because he told me that I'm gonna be good. I don't know. That's why I wanna.
An ACD means that, first of all, it's like if your son has you charged and you're arrested and you're actually found guilty of the assault, that's a domestic violence, and that is deportable, removable, and inadmissible. An ACD in New York, I assume this happened in New York, means adjourned in contemplation of dismissal. So what a judge is going to say to you is, Yanaldri, stay out of trouble for 6 months. Don't have any fights with your son. Don't have any fights with anybody. I don't want to see you in this courtroom ever again. If you're stay out of trouble for 6 months, I don't see you in this courtroom. We don't see you in any other courtroom in the state of New York. In 6 months, I'm going to dismiss the case. So basically, what ACD means is stay out of trouble for 6 months, and your case is dismissed. So what you will have is an arrest and a dismissal.
And that's good. If it's like that,
It's better than an arrest and a conviction. That's for sure. I mean, the best is no arrest. So I mean, for citizenship, you're not inadmissible, you're not removable, you're not deportable. All you have is in the last 5 years or 3 years, if you're basing it on a bona fide marriage, you got to prove good moral character. And on one day, you had a really bad day or a really bad night, and you got arrested. That doesn't make you a bad person.
Nice.
If it's a lot of arrests, then they're going to say, hey, wait a second, why does this guy keep getting arrested? But I think one arrest and the case is dismissed, you're okay.
Oh, and another, the last question, sorry. I know you got more people. Thank you. Another question is, I filed the I-90 for the green card because I lost my green card. Do you think that if I have that open case, can that be a problem for me right now? I went
if you
to USCIS.
If you have an open case, they are not going to renew your green card until the case is resolved. So unfortunately for you, until you get that final dismissal, your green card is going to be held up by immigration.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, good luck. Let's go to Anna in Jersey City. Anna.
Hi, Brad. How are you? I'm good. Brad, I came here I was a student in the early 90s. I unfortunately worked for a year or so, but I forgot to include that under the I-485 when I filled it in, that I had worked. Because I kept on, I've been living here and living back home, but now I'm adjusting my status through marriage to a U.S. citizen. So how do I fix that? Well,
there's two issues you have, okay?
Okay.
First of all, the fact that you worked in violation of your visa, the fact that, you worked undocumented, does not bar you from getting a green card based on marriage to a U.S. citizen. Okay? So that's rule number one. Rule number two is whatever errors you have on your application, when you go for your interview, you could always fix it at the time of the interview. The officer is going to go through your application with you and say, I have some errors, I want to fix it, and you can even tell them in advance.
Okay.
What you need to be very careful about is misrepresentation. Not because you filled out an application incorrectly and you're fixing it at the interview. Not because you worked undocumented. It's if you came on a visa, on a student visa, for example, and you began work the day you got here on your student visa, that's a misrepresentation on what your purpose of entering the United States was.
Okay. I went to school though, but...
Okay. If you came and then years later you started working, that's okay. If you came on a student visa, you worked after the 90-day period, and then you extended your student visa because your time in student visa status was expiring, or you traveled home and came back while you were working, again, misrepresentation.
Okay.
So I don't know what your deal is, and you probably need a consultation.
Okay, I have another question because I recently got my advanced parole and work permit. If I were to travel, would that affect?
No, because they have no idea you made a misrepresentation until you show up to an interview.
Okay.
So you can definitely travel, but you may or may not have. I have no idea. I'm just telling you, where you kind of stand. And you may or may not have. I'm not sure. I think you need a consultation personally.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Patel in Jersey City.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm calling from Jersey City. Hi, sir. How are you today?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I have approval for U visa 2017.
Great.
And my attorney U visa approval letter in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And I filed for a green card for I-485
in 2020.
2020, yeah,
Right.
October.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently got like March work permit and advance parole.
Great.
So advance parole is safe for I going to my country?
Yes, go enjoy your trip.
Okay. And I have another question, sir. I got recently the traffic ticket, like unsafe lane
You're
change.
okay. Bad drivers are not does not mean bad moral character.
I have the bad, like
You're just a bad
unsafe
driver
lane
if you get a ticket for driving, but that doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah. So any effect for my green card?
No.
No, right?
No.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Christopher in Dodge City, Kansas. Christopher.
Hi.
Hey.
Mr. Brad.
How you doing?
I want to know something. I-485 denial and on B1, B2 visa. And before the denial, there was a divorce 2 months. Can I remarry again?
Yes, as long as you can remarry again and you could file an adjustment. The only time you would have a problem is if they said the first marriage was a fake business marriage. Did they say that?
Come again, bro.
Maybe I misunderstood you. You said you came on a student visa,
Yeah.
you got married, your adjustment was
Yeah.
denied, you want to get divorced, and you want to refile again.
Yeah.
And my answer to you is the answer is yes.
On B1, B2 visa.
Oh, B1. Okay. Go through your
B1,
facts
B2
again.
visa.
Maybe I misunderstood. Go through your facts one more time.
Yeah, B1, B2 visa, and I got married. And there was an issue with the lady because she married 2002, and she did not submit the divorce. So
Okay.
they requested a note,
Right.
and we couldn't provide. But before then, there was a divorce for 2 months ago. So there's a final denial of the case. So can I remarry because
I understand now. Okay. So you're married to a lady. You file an adjustment. They say, hey, wait a second, lady, which is your wife. Where's your divorce from the prior man? You're like, well, we don't know what happened to it. She now does the divorce. Now you're free to marry her. You remarry her again, and the answer is yes, and refile again.
okay, but I'm no more together with her. Can I remarry another person?
Yes, you can, as long as you're able, you will be able to prove that your first marriage you didn't try to commit fraud. You were really in a real marriage, and you thought this woman was legally married to you, and you were in a bona fide relationship with her. That's
Thank you, Brad.
That's all you got to worry about. Okay.
Okay, Brad. There was a pending I-7, that's work authorization.
Mm-hmm.
That EAD.
Mm-hmm.
So far as it's denied, is it automatically going to terminate?
Yes, your work permit is not going to get extended, but if you are free to marry somebody else because you were in a bigamist marriage with the first woman, so that's a void marriage. You can get married again and start all over again.
Thank you.
All right, good luck. All right, and by the way, if you weren't able to get your immigration questions asked and answered by me, you could always follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, you could drop me a DM. I'll be happy to answer your questions as best as I can. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. You follow us at Brad Show Live. You don't like 2 hours of us, but you like 2 minutes of us. Best place on Instagram is Brad Show Live. You can also follow us on TikTok at Brad Show Live. Everybody loves TikTok. It's our fastest growing social media platform. That and OnlyFans. No, OnlyFans is not as fast growing as TikTok and Yo-Yo Jonathan Elias.
Yes, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And later in the show, we're going to take you to today's New York City's Hometown Heroes Ticker Tape Parade, honoring essential workers along Manhattan's Canyon of Heroes.
And as we discussed yesterday, DHS officials have announced their effort to bring back deported veterans as well as deported family members. By being able to return to the U.S., veterans will again be able to access the benefits they earned through their services. Now, we've spotlighted many deported veterans and family members such as Miguel Perez Jr. and Alejandra Juarez on the show. So we have put together a short compilation to remind us what they and their families have gone through. Now check it out.
How did you end up in Mexico, deported and separated from your family?
There's a direct relationship with PTSD or the military service. Basically, after I got out of the military service, I had problems with alcohol and some drug addiction, and I was involved in an incident where somebody fired a weapon out of a vehicle. Nobody was hurt, but I did end up spending 3 years in prison, 3 years with half, for a which is called PC Code 246 in the state of California, discharge of a firearm into a vehicle, and that's what I was eventually deported for.
And that's an aggravated felony.
Yes.
That is correct.
Right.
Yes.
So you got deported, and what year did you get deported? Because there's no relief. There's no relief from that deportation unless you have a fear of returning to Mexico.
I got deported in 2004, and I didn't want to stay in Mexico, and I came back about 6 months later. And I got in 2009, and then I was deported again, and that's when I decided to stay here.
14 years, man.
Coming home, Mom.
So what have you been up to? You came back to America now, and what have you been up to since the last we spoke?
Today I started my first job in 20 years.
Today was your first day?
My first day. Yeah.
Wow.
We'll be picking up recyclables wherever people let us put them in. And basically the recyclables will be used to pay somebody like myself or another veteran that needs a job.
And I understand you got married.
I got married, yeah. We got married at the border. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. I met her at Friendship Park, that wall that goes into the ocean. So she kind of tapped me and she says, hey, I can take a picture with you? And then that was it.
So what was your life like? You got deported.
That is correct. I ran into this person, Hector Barajas, who opened up a veteran deported house and started helping out deported veterans. The ACLU was there trying to doing interviews for veterans. I went, I interviewed with them, and the help came from there. Deported veterans, they should be taken into consideration. They picked up an arm, fought for the country. They should be given a chance.
When we last talked, you just came back to the United States of America. Are you happier now?
I'm in a better place. I'm closer to my kids. I'm here, and all I'm showing them is positive things. I'm trying to feel like a father, but I'm getting to know my sons, and they're getting to know me. That's what's going on. It's a process.
When I was in prison, and it came out that I was facing deportation, to tell me that I didn't qualify for citizenship. When I found out that they were deporting me that morning, that I was going straight to Mexico. And I told them the difference between you and me was because you joined to get your citizenship. I joined for the love of the country, the love of my community.
Right.
And he's like, well, we need to fix this. He's like, come on. We start walking and we start making small talk. He opens a door. He closes the door behind me. And when I look back,
you're in Mexico.
Door in the middle. Yes.
Miguel has recently returned and is now a United States citizen. Miguel, how's it feel, my man? You're a citizen and back.
It feels great. I got back. It was just straight to work as far as advocating for the rest of the deported veterans. And I have a great leadership with Pastor Emma with the church. And now that I'm home, I can just walk outside, hop on the bus, hop on the train. Take a ride downtown, walk the streets, because I'm home.
Alejandra Juarez was deported to Mexico on August 3rd, 2018, after living in America for more than 20 years. She's married to a U.S. Marine, has 2 American-born children, and no criminal record.
I think when my dad passed away 36 years ago, I thought that was the worst moment of my life. But that day, as I was arriving to Mexico, I prayed to God to let me die. I kept praying for my airplane to fall off, for something to happen, so that I wouldn't stay in Mexico, because to me it was unthinkable. I know God is still in control. I'm a very religious person, but I'm still hoping that I can go back, because my family needs me. My family needs to be together, because my kids are becoming broke. I was a broken child, and that's what I made so many bad choices. And I don't want my kids to be broken.
Alejandra Juarez, we featured her on our show. She is returning to the United States after her deportation.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, after 3 years of being separated from her family, Alejandra Juarez, she's coming home. On Monday, the United States Department of Homeland Security granted her a temporary reprieve known as humanitarian parole. And she's been living in the Yucatan Peninsula, but she's now back home with her family in Central Florida. So that's a nice story.
Nice.
It's a very nice story. On Sunday, she even posted on Facebook, "Thank you, Lord, for letting me wake up this Mother's Day in my home with my family. This was a miracle."
Wow.
If you are struggling with something that you know only a miracle can help, I'm here to tell you that someone is waiting to hear from you.
The initial reason that I joined the Army was because I wanted to be an Army dentist. I wanted a career in it as an Army dentist and to give my daughter Jasmine a better future. But now, after actually being deported, I realize what a great country I served. And that now I feel more patriotic. Even I remember Hector Baraja saying this, and something I saw, him on. But I really understand where he comes from when he says you feel even more patriotic when you're in another country that you didn't grow up in. And then I put my life on the line for my country, and I feel that's the most patriotic demonstration of love and pride. I started to feel a lot of pride after basic training in AIT while I was in the military. I had leadership positions at times, and I felt, great. I never left anyone behind either. I was the one always carrying the soldier left last behind. I didn't want to leave anybody behind. I was selfless. And, all the moral principles and values that my dad and mom taught me as a kid just were reinstilled even more in the military. I have faith and hope that I may go back, and that's my country, and I always love it no matter what, if I do or don't go back.
So as we discussed yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security officials have announced their efforts to bring back deported veterans as well as deported family members. By being able to return to the United States, veterans will again be able to access the benefits they earned through their many years of services. The Washington Post reports the Biden administration's efforts could return hundreds, possibly thousands of deported veterans and their immediate family members. The administration has already begun returning some deported family members through humanitarian parole, like military spouse Alejandra Juarez. All right, let's get to something we like to call social media check-in.
All right, our first one comes from Don Hamilton, a VIP Brad Squad member. I asked my question yesterday, but was not stated properly. So after getting my work permit through a marriage-based petition, can I work in another state apart from my spouse until the I-130 petition is approved?
Legally, yes. Realistically, not smart idea, because you and your spouse are living apart. You got to prove it's a bona fide marriage. As soon as you get your work permit, you fly to coop. It's really not the best way to prove a bona fide marriage.
Okay, Anna Lee Parker, Brad Squad VIP member. My friend applied for a new work permit under C9 because the one she had expired. It's been almost 7 months since she sent the application in. She only received the 180 days extension notice. However, that 100-day extension will expire soon. Should she refile?
No, what you should do is try to request a humanitarian expedite. That's what you should be doing, either for humanitarian reasons. Perhaps your boss is willing or will provide information that he's going to let you go if you don't get a work permit soon. They can't work legally for the person, so it depends. But you would try to expedite it. That's what you try to do. Don't file a new one.
Okay, Niyi Kundi, Brad Squad VIP member. I found love and we're about to formalize our relationship, but my mind is also on my status adjustment. She agreed to help me for file, but she said she doesn't have tax papers and that she never filed for taxes. This is strange to me as I have never heard of that. Is there any way out?
Yes. If she's working, file back taxes. If she's not working, explain why she doesn't work, why she doesn't have a tax return, and get a second affidavit of support.
Okay, John Adele, a VIP Brad Squad member. Can I go on vacation overseas with my advanced parole, or is it only for emergency purposes?
Bon voyage. Enjoy your vacation.
Tia Diane, Facebook. How long does USCIS take to review cases, and why further review?
Because it's a bureaucracy. It's the U.S. government. They're completely overwhelmed, and it's a case-by-case basis why your case is taking so particularly long.
Okay, Elizabeth Francis on Facebook. Regarding the question I asked about yesterday about the lady who had her visa revoked, it was because she said she was working on a visitor's visa, but now she's married to a U.S. citizen. Will that prevent her from entering the U.S.?
Yes, it's a misrepresentation working on a visitor's visa. So if she's married to a U.S. citizen, he would have to file a visa petition. She would go for an interview at the U.S. Embassy, wherever she may be. She'll be denied. Then you need a waiver for misrepresentation on I-601.
Okay, Muhammad Monirul Islam on YouTube. Is there any way or any chance of the U visa cap increasing to 30,000 from 10,000 per year, even if Biden's Citizenship Act of 2021 does not pass?
Even if Biden's Citizenship Act of 2021 doesn't pass, maybe some other act will pass or other law. But unless an act or a law passes, no chance.
Dion Gordon on Facebook. How soon after getting my green card through marriage can I apply for citizenship?
3 years.
Leslie Benoit on YouTube. A friend of mine has a pending I-130. Priority date is July 15th, 2020. He's married to an LPR. He entered the U.S. with a J-1 visa. Is his priority date current now? If his priority date is current, can he adjust his status?
He can adjust his status as long as he doesn't have a 2-year bar and he's in legal status, married to a resident. Priority dates are current for everybody.
CE user on YouTube. Is it normal for a child under 14 applying for the N600 to have a notice to appear for an oath ceremony and also take biometrics?
No, it is not. You should not be getting an oath ceremony or biometrics on an N600.
Okay, Cami876 on YouTube. If I came to the U.S. on a tourist visa, how long do I need to wait before getting married?
At minimum 90 days.
Nadia Higgs on YouTube.
Woo, we're going through this, man.
We are. I like it. I filed VAWA on in June 2020 and got a prima facie in September. My 12 and 15-year-old sons are on the application. I'm going for biometrics Tuesday, but they didn't get an appointment. Is this normal?
Yes, because, well, the 12-year-old doesn't get one because he's under 13. The 15-year-old should have got one.
Okay, Kimberlyn Burris on YouTube. Is it normal to have the I-693 deficiency noticed before getting the biometrics notice?
Yes, they're coming for everybody now.
Superlicious Dishes on
Superlicious
YouTube.
Dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it.
Yeah, me too. How can I find out if an I-601 waiver was approved or not?
Well, you could, if you have the case number, you can go on to the case online status at USCIS. If you have no idea what the case number is, you can do it for you.
O'Dane Thompson on YouTube. How long will it take for an I-130 to process if I'm filing from the U.S. for someone in Jamaica? The filing started February 27, 2021.
Who's the someone?
I can't tell you that.
Okay. Well, who are you? Are you a citizen or a resident? Let's assume he's a citizen and the someone is a wife.
Okay.
But if your wife knew that you were called that she was called a someone,
right.
You're in trouble, man, right?
Right. Absolutely.
All right. So between us, it's over a year for your wife.
All right. Sunday Unuadu on YouTube. I got married to a U.S. citizen in 2017. I went for my first interview in 2019 and second interview January 2021. There's still no decision yet on my case. What can I do?
Mandamus.
Joel Henry on YouTube. How long does it take for the Texas Service Center to approve an I-751?
Over 2 years.
Yannick Sterlis on Facebook. How long is it taking now to process removal of conditions when married to a U.S. citizen? And can I travel to internationally while in removal of my conditions?
You can travel internationally as long as you have your extension notice and the expired green card. It's taking 2 years these days.
Chantal May on Facebook. My mother just got her green card through VAWA and she wants to file for her daughter who's 29 and in America. How long would it take?
5 to 7 years.
All right, Rosemary Barnes on YouTube. How can I apply for a work visa to work in the healthcare field?
Get a job offer.
Golden Gate YouTube. When will the Haiti TPS application open?
I hope soon, especially after what happened today.
Okay. How can a migrant with no money get help to apply? Are there any free services to help migrants apply?
Google.
Yeah. Aaron Esson SNR on YouTube. How can a U.S. citizen sponsor a friend to immigrate to the U.S. permanently?
There's such thing as friend sponsorship.
Richard Diamond on YouTube. My I-751 was denied while I was outside the U.S. Also, my green card expired while I was outside. Can I apply for a student visa or a visitor's visa to get into the U.S.?
No, because that you've already shown an immigrant intent. You need a consultation immediately.
Carlos Estrella on YouTube. Can an 18-year-old resident become an American citizen, or does he have to wait till he's 21?
An 18-year-old can file for naturalization if they've had 5 years of a green card.
All right, last one, Neptune Pierre on YouTube. What's the next step after my I-130 has been renewed?
If your I-130?
What's the next step after my I-130 has been reviewed?
Oh, reviewed.
Reviewed.
Wait for an approval. There you got it. Meanwhile, in today, Brad needs to learn how to read. Today in New York City. Nope, I still can't read. Let's start this again. Today, New York City hosted a Hometown Heroes ticker tape parade honoring essential workers along Manhattan's Canyon of Heroes. The last ticker tape parade held here was for the United States women's national soccer team in 2019. I remember that.
I remember that.
14 floats made this one of the largest ticker tape parades in New York City's history. Hospital and healthcare workers, education and child care workers, first responders, community care and city workers, advocacy organizations, transportation workers, hospitality and food workers, transit workers, sanitation workers, all of our hometown heroes. We celebrated them all. Mayor de Blasio said we're giving working people the salute they deserve. And among those heroic working people are many, many immigrants. According to the United States Census Bureau, more than 50% of the frontline workers in New York City were foreign-born. 19% of those frontline workers are, in fact, non-citizens. 1 out of 5. Let's check it out. Let's see what happened at the parade right outside our window today.
It's a nursing home group. My name is Cece. Same thing, work for a law group. It's a nursing home group.
What was it like working during the pandemic in the nursing homes?
To me, it was a challenge every single day. It was nothing. You go into work, you have no expectations. All you care is how's my patient, how's everybody, how's my team members, how's the people I work with. Because at the time, it was, in terms of morale, it was bad. So everybody take care of each other. So that was the most important part for me. I mean, to us, definitely the pandemic caused a lot of impact because everything shut down and everyone is worried about their health, their family members. So our role has been different because of the pandemic. We become the family members, the caregiver, and everything else to the residents. And besides, we also have to worry about our own family too because we all have family members. So how do we stay protected while we're protecting others?
And what does it mean to you to be here today and to be being honored in the Highway of Heroes Parade here in New York City?
To me, it's a party. You know, thanks for the vaccine, and now we can come out. We can let go of some of our worries, and we can enjoy, what we have accomplished. I am so
excited. I couldn't even sleep last night. And so this is like a real freedom now, like after so long, over a year. I hope this carry on. Hope we don't need to wear the mask again. Everyone stay safe.
What do you think people need to realize about immigrants and what they mean to the United States of America and to our system of keeping people safe and healthy?
So to me, the question is profound because we're both immigrants. I recently became a citizen. It took me 10 years. And to answer your question, you can see we are here, we're immigrants, and almost everybody I see are immigrants. I don't even know what nursing homes or hospitals are gonna look like without immigrants in this country. So I think the pandemic really brought the attention to hospitals. People don't really think about hospitals until you get sick. But this pandemic really brought out who are founding this country, who are holding up this country, and that's immigrants. Immigrants play a big role during the pandemic, and especially in medical field. Immigrants like us, we will play a bigger role because we need to utilize our languages. Well, they can even communicate with the healthcare the doctors and nurses. So I would say we definitely play our value here.
Tell us a little bit of each about your immigration stories.
So I'm from China. I came here for school when I was 18. I always loved New York. So the day even before I graduated, I came here immediately and I found a job here. I started living here, living my life. Then I found the love of my life here and I became a citizen through our marriage recently. So I came from Hong Kong. Me and my parents and my sister has waited for 10 years to come to the United States. I'm already a citizen. We have some family here, not much, but definitely I feel like a reborn because when I came, I was just 19 years old. I was over age to attend high school, so I went straight to college. So everything started new again. I definitely not regretting coming here. I feel like there's a lot of hope in the United States. Definitely is a perfect choice.
My name's Nora Moran. I'm the Director of Policy and Advocacy at United Neighborhood Houses. We're a policy organization working with New York settlement houses. There's 40 of them in New York City. They provide all sorts of services in a community center setting, working with young children all the way up through older adults, and do a lot of work with immigrants across New York City around legal assistance, and other sorts of supportive services.
During the pandemic for you guys, what exactly were you dealing with?
Sure. So I think for a lot of settlement houses, they were dealing with all sorts of issues to help keep New Yorkers safe and socially distanced and, housed and secure through the pandemic. And they did a lot in their communities to provide emergency food assistance. We saw food insecurity really skyrocket in the neighborhoods that settlement houses work in across New York City. They also did a lot to provide emergency child care to essential workers. They either kept their child care centers open or went into schools to work in the regional enrichment centers and learning labs to keep providing services, to children of essential workers. So it definitely was a very trying time. It was really difficult. They did a lot to pivot to make sure they were connected to people by phone. Still were very creative in terms of being able to offer counseling and case management, remotely and make sure that they were staying connected to people. I would say that both at settlement houses, we do not ever ask people about citizenship status. We never want anybody to feel uncomfortable walking through our front doors. So that's never a question, never a focus or a requirement for receiving services. So I want to, just make that clear. I think there was a greater attention in our city about who is a frontline worker and recognizing that, many of our essential frontline workers are foreign born and they risked their lives and did really tremendous work to make sure that our city kept running.
What does it mean for you to be here today, to be at a big parade? I think this is the first big parade I think New York has had since the pandemic.
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's been, overwhelming at times. I think it's been great to see all different kinds of New Yorkers out here marching, and lots of people coming out to cheer and support as well. And we really hope that, whoever is here just continues to recognize all the essential work that a lot of people do, even out of a pandemic, and carry that going forward.
My name is Damian Mark. I'm an emergency room nurse. Originally, I'm from Grenada. I moved here to the United States 20 years ago with the idea of pursuing a better career. And somehow I found myself in nursing, which is an amazing career. And it's about compassion and helping people. I've been a nurse for over 7 years. We last year started a pandemic, and it's been a nightmare for us, especially nurses, especially in New York. The major pandemic started here in New York. I mean, we was understaffed. We had, barely nothing in terms of protection, but we still found a way to even serve our people, because as nurses, no matter what, we have to do what we have to do to take care of our people. So it was hard, but as nurses, we still continue to do the work. During this pandemic, as we see, a lot of essential workers, right? We have a lot of immigrants who it doesn't matter from being a doctor or a nurse, or even someone who works in clothing, or even in working in food service, from all different walks of life. So immigrants, to me, also is a big part of the economy. So at the end of the day, we still have to treat everyone with the highest of respect, because they all matter. The ones in the middle who is actually doing the most. So yeah, so of course, in actuality, we all need it. And not for a second, I think we could actually ignore the people that we consider our lower class or our immigrants, because at the end of the day, we all important to this economy, we all important to our country, and we work hard, and we do what it takes to build everyone up and to make this world a better place.
All right, congratulations to all our hometown heroes. Woo! We have one more hero thing to do today. 9 immigration questions in 50 seconds.
I feel great.
Let's see if we can be a hero too.
Let's do
Not
it.
as good a heroes as them.
Maybe they'll throw a parade for us.
They will not throw a parade for us, but we will get some virtual balloons.
We can throw our own parade.
Yeah, you ready? If we do it, we're going to parade around the studio.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
All right, you ready? Let's go.
What documents are needed for a DV visa?
Proof that you have an address and a telephone name.
Can I pay in-state tuition with the TPS document?
There's no in-state tuition for TPS.
What's the fastest way a citizen can bring siblings to the U.S.?
Not an F4 visa petition, that's for sure.
What is an F4 visa?
An F4 is brother, sister, I-130 petition.
How fast can a green card holder bring wife and son to the U.S.?
2.5 years.
Can someone return to the U.S. after being found inadmissible?
Depends why they were found inadmissible. They may need a waiver.
Can I get a government assistant while filing for my wife?
No, not if you want to get her a green card.
Can I change my address after my interview?
Sure.
Can I file an I-131 with pending asylum?
I-131 advance parole? No, you can't.
Come on, man.
Okay, what was the first question? Because that was...
What documents are needed for a DV?
It depends when...
Right.
I'm like, for the DV, you just need your name and address to file it with... to get into the DV lottery. If you win, then you need... There's a million documents. You need proof that you have a high school education. You need proof that you have 2 years skilled work. You need affidavit of support, police clearances, lots of things. So I don't know at what part they were asking that question.
Well, we still got it.
Yes. But that one kind of threw me off because I'm like, when, where,
And that's the first question.
Yeah. All right, we did it. All right, comments of the day. Oh, we did parade. Too late.
I paraded for
You paraded,
us.
okay, thank you.
All right. First comment of the day comes from Michael Giddens saying, my condolences to the people of Haiti.
Yes.
Same. All right, second comment of the day. Carol Anderson the Tiger saying, my American dream is for everyone to have peace and happiness and love each other.
I like that American dream.
Yeah, mine too.
Somehow Carol always seems to know what to write to become a comment of the day.
She's a smart
She's
one,
She's a smart little tiger.
Yeah, smart little lioness. All right, Jessica Lee Terrell Reed Here's our next one. Hump Day news should be taken with a shot, Brad.
Yes, I think, Jonathan and I were like, this is a little too much.
Yeah. Got a little too randy.
Yeah.
But I'm down for a 1942 shot.
Me too.
All right, our next comment of the day. Nelson Sedeno saying, giving you a shout out from South America, Ecuador.
Wow. Thank you for watching down there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And
our last one, we got one more. We got a lot for Hump Day. All right. Dion Reed saying, all manners, gratitude, and respect to all essential workers all over the world. You are highly appreciated. Gratitude is a must. Big up, blessing.
All right. Thank you. Very nice. And all very nice comments of the day. And many more that we don't even say comments of the day. I read them all. Thank you all for watching. It was a great Hump Day. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elliott.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Jonathan will be here with Nesquik. God willing, she makes it through town to Miami with Elsa.
Yes.
I hope she gets there safely. And we will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same station. Take care. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?